Google Analytics campaign tracking. So tracking advertising campaigns is really key to understanding their success. In this section, we're going to cover the basics on how campaign tracking works and what the best practices are to implement it. So first, let's talk about what campaign tracking is. Campaign tracking is also called custom campaigns, and it's the practice of tagging your advertising campaigns in a way that Google Analytics can then categorize that traffic. So let's just take a quick look right here at a source and medium report. We can see that Google Analytics knows that some traffic comes from Google, and that's organic search. And Google also knows that other traffic comes from Instagram, and that's CPC traffic. And then there's some Google CPC traffic in here and some referral traffic. So the question is, how does Google know the different sources and mediums? And there's two answers to this. First is the good news that Google can automatically track certain sources and mediums, so you don't have to do anything to tag those types of campaigns. The examples of what Google can automatically tag are anything related to organic search is the first one. So whether it comes from Google or Bing or Yahoo or AOL or whatever search engines pop up, Google builds in logic that can identify the source and medium. So you don't need to worry about any of those. Social media traffic in general can be tracked as well. So if traffic comes directly from Facebook or Twitter, Google Analytics can identify that and will put it in as a source and medium, the source being obviously the social network and the medium being social. Referral traffic as well, so anything that comes from other websites, direct links from other websites which link to you, you're going to automatically get that source and medium tracking. The bad news is that there's a few types of ad sources that Google does not have that logic built in for, and these are ones for which we need to tag our campaigns. So a general way to think about it is if you're going to buy an ad anywhere, chances are you need to tag your landing page with the correct campaign tracking information. So just at a high level, and we're going to get into what all this means in a second, this is what a sample tracking URL looks like. And it basically, just to dissect this a little bit, it's going to have our landing page. And in this case, we're just going to send the traffic to the home page, to example.com. We're going to tell Google Analytics what the source is. So this little UTM is for Google Analytics. And that's going to say that the source is Facebook, because it's a Facebook ad. The medium is a banner ad. Let's say we're buying a banner ad on Facebook. And then the campaign would be our campaign name. In this particular example, it's going to be something called Daily Lunch Promo. Okay, so this is basically the makeup of what that tracking URL looks like. Before we get into how to create that, we just want to talk about some sort of guiding principles and how you want to track campaigns. The first important principle is consistency. So when you track campaigns, you can identify a specific source, you can identify a specific medium and a campaign name. We encourage you to be very consistent. If you buy Facebook ads on a regular basis from Facebook, you should always call the source Facebook or Facebook ads, whatever you prefer, but don't deviate. The idea being that we want to sort of have one source where all that traffic rolls up into. That's the consistency part of it. Same with medium. You may call Facebook ads banner ads. You may call them display ads. It doesn't really matter. It's all going to go into Google Analytics, but it does matter that you use the same term each time, just so you can roll all that up. Let's say someone in your organization asks for, I want to see all the banner ads, for example, in Facebook. We should have a consistent medium for that so that we can report easily on it. And the same with campaign. You want to be consistent with how you name your campaigns. The second guiding principle is being descriptive. So this is more so with the campaign portion of this. We often see businesses label campaigns, campaign 1, campaign 2, campaign 3. And I think that in the short term, it's okay because they can remember what campaign 1, 2, and 3 were. But let's just say you're reviewing data from a year ago. Maybe you're a seasonal business and you want to see what campaigns ran very well last year. Being descriptive in that campaign name is really key to sort of jogging your memory as to what you were running then. So in this particular example, we're going to talk about a campaign that we're going to run called Daily Lunch Promo. It's at least somewhat descriptive where I know that it was a promo we ran that ran daily. So those are just some guiding principles. Let's talk about the different pieces of these quickly. You do have source, which in general is who you're buying the traffic from. So if we're buying traffic from Facebook or we go on Twitter and buy ads or a specific blog, we would want a source. That would be the source that we'd assign. As far as medium goes, we generally just want to be consistent. If it's a banner or display ad, we would call it banner or display. Maybe it's something we're buying on a cost per click basis, so we might call it CPC, that sort of thing. With the campaign itself, again, just being descriptive. You have some additional optional parameters that we're going to talk about in a second, which include campaign content. So you may, for your daily lunch promo campaign, actually have 2 different ads that run. So you may want to actually pass, which ad is maybe more effective and that sort of thing. But we'll look at an example of that in just a second. Let's look at a few different scenarios here. The first would be a situation where we're running a Facebook ad. So let's say we work in a restaurant, our boss comes in and wants to run a weekday Facebook ad at lunchtime telling local people about the menu, right? So here's how we could tag the campaign. And what I'm going to do is jump over to a tool that actually helps us build these URLs. You don't have to actually understand how these get put together. So for our first campaign, we're going to use Google's URL builder. We're going to put our website in, and in this case, it is http://weareexample.com. The source now, because our boss has asked us to run a Facebook campaign, is going to be Facebook. Our medium, we're going to call it Facebook display in this example. And the campaign he wants to run is the daily lunch promo. So what we're going to do with this particular tool then is put in the campaign daily lunch promo. So let's just back up and look at this tool for a second. First, we have put in our landing page URL. So this is wherever you intended to send the traffic. We're then going to put in the source, which is Facebook, the medium, which we've identified as displayed. At this moment, we're going to leave term and content blank, and then the campaign name is the daily lunch promo. And then all this tool allows us to do, we click the Generate URL button, and the tool builds our URL for us. So now we would go over to Facebook, we'd copy this URL, and when Facebook, as we're building that ad, this is going to be our landing page URL. So this will ensure then that anybody who clicks on this URL, Google will associate the traffic with this particular source, medium, and campaign. So if Facebook, if we know we spend $50 on this campaign, we could go over to Google Analytics and say, well, what did it do for us? Did people download a coupon? Did they look at the menu? That sort of thing. So the next example we're going to look at, we're still working in the same restaurant. This time our boss wants us to run a weekend Facebook ad. So this is on weekends, telling people about the dinner special. So all I would really do to create that URL, it's going to be very similar. My landing page may change. Maybe this time it'll be / dinner, for example. Source is still Facebook. Medium doesn't change, but this time my campaign name is slightly different. It's the weekend dinner special, and I click Generate URL, and now I've got that one. So again, now we're going to track those 2 different ads separately. Google Analytics is going to know that both are from Facebook, that both are display ads, but when we drill into campaign level reports, we're going to see that the dinner program responds different from the lunch promo. So that's pretty much how that works. Now the third scenario, let's say we're still working in the same restaurant, we haven't been fired yet, and this time our boss wants us to run a retargeting ad that maybe gives a free appetizer. So again, we're just going to do the same thing. Maybe this time our landing page is something called free app, if that exists. We're going to say our source is Facebook, medium display, and the campaign this time is a retargeting free app. And I would copy and paste this URL into Facebook, and now I'm tracking these all differently. So why do we do this? We do this, and we're descriptive with this because of the importance of spending money and being able to equate it to progress and results. So as we see each of these at the end of the day, when we have these 3 campaigns tagged this way, we could potentially go in and create a custom report, maybe that only shows Facebook display ads. And then maybe the dimension that we're going to look at is campaign. So we have a really easy report that we can send to our boss now, and it shows him only these display ads that he's asked us to run and what the results were. So super easy to track, super easy to monitor the campaign results, and then as a result, make marketing decisions. And that pretty much summarizes the URL builder and custom campaign tracking. Again, just some of the key points are that the importance of any time when you're buying media, buying any sort of advertisement, is in fact tracking those campaigns, because obviously you're not going to get the right data in Google Analytics if you do not. So let's, in this particular example, had we not tracked these campaigns, this traffic would have actually come across as Facebook referral traffic. and we would not have been aware that it was our campaigns that drove this. Maybe somebody not experienced in Google Analytics may jump into those reports and assume that this is, stuff that's just coming from our Facebook page, maybe, free traffic that we're able to generate. So it's really important with specifically to paid media is to really tag campaigns, tag them in a logical way, and measure results.